Shri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om A Guru Vajra Dara Suma Timo Nishasane Karm Uta Varda Nishri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om A Guru Vajra Dara Suma Timo Nishasane Karm Uta Varda Nishri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Om Guru Vajradar Suma Timo Nishasane Karm Uta Varda Nishri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Dagi Jetsun Lama Tuje Che Nyamda Dala Tuje Sikso So Gebe Shesan Dala Tendo So Oyon Sunge Nawa Tsedo So Tseji Ningne Solwa Debe Tse Dechen Korlo Visu Lekshune Yila Sambe Dudun Malupa Geme Lunge Drubra Chingelo Tsoni Sodan Dikdun Shakpe Tse Dungi Namge Yinso Lekshune Lapchen Tsoni Yonsu Tsopa Dang Cherani Dun Chanwara Chingelo Chancho Parge Ninsen Tukunto New Peme Siudro Lekshune Chancho Drube Geken Kunshishi Tungen de la Drubra Chingelo Dagi Lona Chola Chokpa Dan Chemi Samjor Ngemba Shiwad Chodan Timbe Dudum Malupa Beme Lungir Dorna Tingne Tsirava Tamche Dan Techi Pardune Kab Tamche Tu Rese Kyamne Lama Kileme Tukche Chingi Dala Siksus Gongyab Drewe Nyamda Dachala Jetsun Lame Tuche Rabgongne Kodan Sunge Nawa Drame Tu NgalSo Nyongwe Kesan Tobrash Kewa Kuntu Yanda Lama Dan Drame Cheki Pela Longchechi Sadan Lamge Yente Rabzone Dorje Change Kopa Nyur Tobe Sho Pakyuke Kodan Dagi Alo Pakyuke Dagi Nga Pakyuke Tugdan Dagi Yi Ten Yerme Chiktu Chingi Alo Makyuke Kodan Dagi Alo Makyuke Sundan Dagi Nga Makyuke Tugdan Dagi Yi Ten Yerme Chiktu Chingi Alo Om Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha Om Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha Om Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha Sa Shipeke Chushe Medo Tran Rerav Lingshe Nide Gembadi Sange Shindu Mikde Ulwaraki Drogun Namda Shingla Choparasho Yedam Guru Ratna Mandrala Kam Niryatayami Sangye chedan tsoge chonam la chancho pardo dani kyapso chi dagi jinso gibe sonam ki drola pinchira sangye druparasho Sangye chedan tsoge chonam la chancho pardo dani kyapso chi Dagi jinso gibe sonam ki drola pinchira sangye druparasho Sangye chedan tsoge chonam la chancho pardo dani kyapso chi Dagi jinso gibe sonam ki drola pinchira sangye druparasho In the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I take refuge until enlightenment. Through the practice of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Nel Buddha, nel Dharma e nel Sangha prendo rifugio fino all'illuminazione. Con la pratica della generosità e delle altre perfezioni, possa io ottenere lo stato di Buddha per il beneficio di tutti gli esseri senzienti. Haye ke dan ludan ne chin ke drubon da da mi ke nam da drwa kuin ge dhanama che tsampa tamche ke do da ge che ten tong. Okay. In order to do anything, there is one part that is necessary, which are the causes, and another part which are the conditions. Anything that happens in the present moment are conditions for what we expect in the immediate future, what is happening right now in the present. In other words, what I am doing now are the conditions of what I am experiencing now. The causes are always things that have happened before. Okay? And in order to realize any practice, okay, just wait for translation, everybody get there. When we do any type of spiritual practice, there is one part which regards the actual meditation. There is one part which is actually sitting down, following the instructions, doing the visualizations, reciting the mantras and the words of aspiration, which instead of prayers, the most correct way is words of aspirational words, mönlam. And all of this there are the mudras, there is all this type of things which are very important. Okay? But other than that, there is another part which is extremely important, which is like, without which all the rest cannot truly function, which is creating the causes to reach the results. As we do the practice, we are also at the same time making causes, but I'm going to try to make it simple. We cannot experience results without having made the causes. Okay? Of all the actions that we do, so-called karma, karma manifests through sensation. We experience the result of the actions of the past through sensation. Okay? So the result of virtuous actions comes through sensations of well-being and pleasure, while the result of negative actions come through sensation of suffering and unpleasure. Okay? So, in the moment that someone develops an inner state of calm, of peace, of satisfaction, and so on, naturally experience a sensation of peace and well-being. Okay? But the sensation of peace and well-being is not coming as a result, direct result from being calm. It's coming as a result of the positive energies that have been generated in the past, of positive karma that was made in the past. In other words, when I calm myself down and I concentrate in not reacting with anger or whatsoever, I'm creating new causes for the future, but it's a condition for the present. If I don't have the so-called merits, if I have not created the causes, I cannot experience the result in the present. Okay? Making a metaphor that is maybe not the best one, but is the one that comes to my mind right now. In order for me to buy something, I must know where is the shop. I must have the way through all the shops and to be able to get to the place where I can find what I want to buy. But I must have the money. Otherwise, I get in front of the shop, everything is there, but if I don't have the money, I cannot get it. And if I have the money, but I don't know how to get to the shop, I can also not buy it. So, I need to have accumulated the causes, and I need to have the right conditions. And in our spiritual path, in order to reach a state of peace, of satisfaction, of inner stability and well-being, which we call to reach the realizations of the practice and so on, it's not enough just to study philosophy and try to change our mental attitude and to do the meditational practices. All of this is important, but it's not enough. We need to together to accumulate so-called merit, which means to create positive causes. It's like to create positive inertia of energy of positive actions. Okay? And at the same time, to stop, and which we call purify, the negative forces that we have created in the past. So, as part of the preparation for the practice, it's given a lot of emphasis into accumulating merit and purifying one's own negativities. This part is giving a lot of importance to it. And even Lama Tsongkhapa, who was the greatest of all masters of our times, at one point in his life, in order to gain the realizations, he had all the knowledge. He didn't need extra knowledge, but he was not able yet to fully realize the true, correct view of reality. So he manifested to us at least. So in that time, what he did in order to gain the realizations, he went on a long retreat of accumulation of merit and purification. He did long time. He went to one place called Wokachuling, between the border with India. Very far away place. Nowadays, it's much easier to get there. I just heard that it's very busy with tourists, they're like pilgrimage and so on. Before you needed to walk days to get there. Now it's very easy. But he stayed in a very remote area for more than 1 year, just doing practices in order to accumulate merit and purify one's own negativities. With Kor Thakpa Namge, with 8 disciples, which we have represented also there. On that side, they are represented there. They are the disciples that went together with Lama Tsongkhapa. They are on the side there. They are the 8 disciples that went together with Lama Tsongkhapa during that retreat. They are called in Tibetan Kor Thakpa Namge. Above, where there is the sky above, there is there between Buddha Maitreya. Then they are there. 3, 6, 7. They are there. Anyhow, what happened is that Lama Tsongkhapa went to do accumulation of merit. Even though he had the best, perfect concentration, perfect samadhi, all the knowledge about the Dharma and everything, he went to do accumulation of merit and purification. No, Naropa, the great master, he already had all the knowledge, perfect samadhi and concentration and everything. And when he went to look for his guru that could help him to gain the actual realizations, which is to make the knowledge not to be just conceptual, but to be actual, he found the great master Tilopa, and he went through a 12 years process of purification and accumulation of merit. So, if such great masters did put a lot of emphasis into accumulating merit and purification, why shouldn't we? You know, it's something that it's fundamentally important on the path. It doesn't take away the importance of studying, of understanding, of meditating, of reciting the mantras and doing all of this, but it's a very important part. We need to generate the right amount of so-called positive energy in order to be able to reach certain levels of consciousness. So, in order to do that, there are 2 steps, which we call accumulating merit and purifying negativities. The part of accumulating merit, one of the best ways to generate positive energy is by giving. It's said to be the easiest and the most powerful way of generating positive energy is through generosity, is by giving. And when we talk about giving, basically giving is divided into 2 parts. When we give to someone that has a similar or less spiritual development than ours, we call an act of generosity. When we give to someone that has a higher spiritual development than ours, a higher level of compassion, of wisdom, and so on, we call that an act of an offering. Okay, it's always sharing. So, one of the important parts in the practices is the part of offering. Also, Buddha Shakyamuni, when he taught us the steps on the path, which is the qualities that we need to perfect, which is basically generosity, morality, patience, joyful effort, concentration, and wisdom. The first one is generosity. The reason for that, it is said to be that through generosity we gain a lot of positive karma, positive energy that gives the support to be able to develop all the other qualities on the path. So we need that on the basis. Okay? So, once we generate the right motivation, we need now to generate the resources in order to be able to fulfill the path. It's like, now I know where I want to go for my travel.
I have clear why I want to go there, and I know where I want to go. My final destination is clear, why and where. Now I need to buy the ticket. And I need to put the money aside. And I need to create the right conditions in order to be able to go to this place. Okay? So we enter into the part which is called accumulation of merit and purification. Both ways, we are always connected to someone. When we give to someone. And here is where we connect to what is called the field of merit. Okay? Actually, there are 3 steps to be done here before we start the actual practice. Accumulating merit, purifying our negativities, and requesting the blessings. Okay? And all these 3 are connected with so-called merit field, or field of merit. In Tibetan it's called Dzogchen. The field of merit, the name that is given, is based on the idea that we have a field like a piece of land. Okay? So, a field of merit is a place where if you plant the right seed, it has the right conditions for it to ripen. So, it's like the right conditions it's a field for potatoes. It's the best place to plant potatoes. A field of merit is the best place to plant merits. Because sometimes when we say the field of merit, we imagine, this Buddha put together, and we think that the field of merit is the one represented of the Guru Puja. That's one field of merit. But our own Guru is a field of merit. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha are fields of merit. So many forms of fields of merit. This is the field of merit visualized in the complete form during Guru Puja, which we call normally the field of merit of the Guru Puja. In Tibetan is Lama Chepe Dzogchen, the field of merit of Guru Puja. But sometimes there is this wrong understanding that when we say the field of merit, we connect the word field with many, many Buddhas put together. That's why it's like a field, like many. It has nothing to do with that. The concept field of merit, field as the ground, as the earth, that has the right conditions to plant something. So we could use, if we use a metaphor to understand better, we could say the field of beans, the field for potatoes, the field of orange, the field of whatever. You know, it's similar like if we need to plant vegetables, not every land is good for every type of vegetable. Some of them need a more acid land, others need some less acid land, depends on what we want to plant, right? So, to have a piece of land which has all the perfect conditions to plant what we want is the best field to do that. So, a field of merit is basically a place, an object, through which by interacting with it we can gain merits, we can gain positive energy. Okay? And the field of merits are basically 2. We have the holy beings and the sentient beings. They are both fields of merits. Okay? When we act out of generosity and when we give to other sentient beings, it's a field of merit. When we connect to holy beings and we make offerings, it's also a field of merit. Okay. There is one specific point here which for some people may be very meaningful, for other people may not connect so much, but I would explain it. It is said that whatever action we do, if it doesn't come with the intention to get out of samsara or reach enlightenment, it will just be one more cause to remain in samsara. It's not a direct cause to liberate oneself from samsara. Okay? So I can have the best intentions and be kind and with love and so on, but if I don't have the intention within that action as a motivation to get out of samsara or to reach enlightenment, it will not be a direct cause to get out of samsara and so on. The only exception is through the power of the object, which is basically when we do a virtuous action such as offerings. And the power and the field of merit, the power is basically the Guru, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And there are some very specific holy places also. That is said that through the power of the object, when we do a positive action, it becomes a direct cause for the liberation from samsara. Okay. So, what is the motivation that we generated in the very beginning? I want to get out of samsara. Okay. So, the best field of merit to help us for that is Guru Buddha. So what we do in the practice is that first we generate the field of merit, after having generated the motivation, and then once we have the field of merit, then we follow what are called the 7 limb prayers. Okay? But one of the reasons why we do this is because we need to generate this positive energy. We need to accumulate merits. Some people have the wrong understanding. They think, oh, I need to make offerings to the Buddha so the Buddhas bless me. You know? And sometimes people have, like, oh, now I am in a real big need, so I make more offerings. Has nothing to do with that. It's not that the Buddhas look to us and say, oh, he made a big offering, let's help him more. Has nothing to do with that. Has to do with our own ability of generating energy and gaining the results from our own actions. Okay? So, has nothing to do with gaining the favors of the Buddhas. Because sometimes we have this culture, gaining the favor of the gods, which comes from thousands of years. And we may apply this into Buddhism, but it has nothing to do with it. So, next step after generating the motivation, then Guru Buddha absorbs into us, we dissolve into light, and so on, is we will first prepare the offerings, and after invite the field of merit. Visualize and invite the field of merit. So, next step, as we said before, everything dissolves into light. From within the state of light, we appear with a body made of light, like a subtle body within a pure environment. Then from our heart, light emanates, going through the whole environment and cleaning any type of pollution or conflict that may be there. Okay? So the first thing is we prepare the place, because we are going to invite holy beings to come. So first we prepare the place. So we don't do it physically. We imagine that from our heart light emanates and it cleans and makes the whole environment pure and beautiful. This is when we recite normally Hadang mi chepetse ngosum shadan yiki trukun san choten laname namke kankyu. Tamche duni sashida sengma laso me padang laktil tanyam bendori ranshin chamburne gyorochik, which is a verse from the Bodhisattva Charyavatara, in which basically we say, may all the environment be completely pure and harmonious and pleasurable. Okay? After that, we generate in front of us the offerings. So in order for us to give something, we must have something to give. So normally we have physical offerings that we make. The traditional way is that we make them in water bowls, like we have in the altar. No? Water has many, many qualities. Not only water is one of the most precious things for life, but water is clean, is pure. It's something that we are not so attached to, because it's said it's not good to offer something that we are very attached to. So, one of the best objects to offer is water. I remember my teacher saying that there were some monks in Sera monastery. They would wake up before sunrise in order to make 1 hour walk to a very pure water source, to take water, and to come back home, another hour walking, to make water offerings. They would use that water only for that, every day. So, there is this importance of offering the best. So normally where we make the water offerings, we should have very clean pots and making in the best way. We offer the best that we can. And basically there are two types of offerings, those that are physically prepared, materially prepared, and those that are mentally visualized. Okay? So we have our own physical offerings that we put, in which we offer whatever we have in the best way. We can put water, candles, flowers, incense. These are the common types of offerings. Okay? But like if we are a small kid and we are meditating, we can offer our candies. Or we can offer anything. Actually, there is no anything that cannot be offered. No? One time, anyhow, I received one time one offering, like people come and they give offerings to the Lama, and one time I opened one envelope and there was a piece of hashish. And then I look at that and I said, okay. Then the person helping me to open said, oh, can I have it? I said, no. And I came and I throw it away, no? Because I said, okay, it's not something that I don't value. But in my thought was like, okay, whoever offered it means it's something that this person valued and offered the best that this person had of value. Even something that I don't value, but it's something that the person offered the best that the person had. So, the person did the best thing to offer what he or she had, and I did the right thing, what I had to do with it. So, it's like, one thing, it's not independent of the other. When we offer what we have best, not what the other likes. So we don't offer water because Buddha likes water, or we don't offer this or that because that's what the Buddhas like. We offer what we have best. Okay? So actually, making offerings has one very particular aspect, which is we exist in a material world. We are not made only of mind and emotions. We have a body. We interact through matter. And when we materialize feelings, this make our feelings stronger. When we materialize our wishes and our emotions, it makes it stronger. So, when we actually make a gift to someone, very often it's a way to materialize our gratitude, to materialize our love, our attachment, our desire, whatever feeling we have, emotion we have regarding that. And one of the very important aspects on our path is the emotion, the feeling of gratitude and respect. So, why do we make offerings? Because we now must cultivate within us gratitude and respect. Also, and as a way to accumulate merit. But it's very important for us to cultivate both gratitude and respect. This is something that it's fundamentally important. Because if I respect you, I give value to what you tell me, to what you do. If I don't respect you, I will not value. Okay? If I have gratitude, I will also value more. If I don't have so much gratitude, okay, I received this nice, anyhow, tomorrow I get more. And we don't value it, and we don't use it correctly. So, we are the ones that receive the greatest benefit by cultivating our gratitude and our respect. And one of the ways of doing it is by making offerings. It's like whenever I did offerings, it's never about the one that receives the offering. It's mostly about the one that gives the offerings. Sometimes people ask me, how much should I give? What type of offering should I make? The right offering to do is that which is not too much and is not too less. If I make an offering and in my feeling is something like, that's nothing, it's just a formality, I could do much more, then not enough. If I make an offering and then I feel a little bit attached, I'm giving more than what actually I'm able, and then it's too much. We need to be comfortable. There is a story that in the time of Buddha Shakyamuni, there was 2 young boys, very young kids. I imagine more or less like when you see like Dorje, this Tibetan boy running up and down here, more or less like his age. And then they met Buddha Shakyamuni. And one of them, when he saw Buddha, he became so touched by Buddha and he wanted to make an offering to Buddha. But he didn't have anything with him. So he went to the ground, he put his hand completely full with sand. He went on top of the other boy, because Buddha was very, very tall. So he went on top of the other boy, and then he went to the begging bowl where Buddha used to put his food. And inside of the begging bowl of Buddha, he filled everything with sand, imagining it was gold. You know? So through these merits that he created, these were the causes that later he was reborn as King Ashoka, the great emperor of India, and then the one that later also made a great work for Buddhism in many ways, and so on. So it's said that one of the merits, one of the causes that was created for this, that one that supported what he became after, was this offering that he did, which he did with the most pure intention. And he didn't have anything else. He had sand, and he offered the sand, imagining it were all grains of gold, and he did with the most pure intention. You know? So, offerings are not so much about what the one that receives actually needs. It's more about offering the best that we can offer with the correct intention. Okay? Offering is not a way to gain something back. Offering is a way to cultivate our respect and gratitude. Okay? It generates a lot of positive energy into us. This is my own personal experience. Rinpoche, he taught this many times. He was many times when traveling and also here in Italy, making us to give offerings and saying, you need to try your own experience. And we see that actually it generates a particular joy, it generates a particular energy also. So, we can make offerings directly or through imagination. In our practice, the best is to do both. So we have an altar, which is a place that represents what is sacred for us. And in front of it, we put water, incense, flower, whatever we see as more suitable and precious. Normally, the type of offerings that are done traditionally is 7 types of offerings, 7 plus 1, actually 8, in which we have water for drinking, water to wash the feet, then we have flour, incense, light, perfume, food, and music. Okay? These were the offerings that were given to the kings. In the time in India, not only to the kings, but in the kingdoms, when a special guest arrived, what was the best way to receive someone that came from far away? When the person arrived, the first thing that was done is washing the feet. People would walk for days and hours. So the first thing they would wash their foot. The second thing, they would give them water. The first thing, water to drink. The second thing, wash their foot. The third thing, they would offer them flower, a flower garland. Until nowadays in India, very often when there are ceremonies, people offer flower garlands. Then after receiving the flowers, they come with incense. They offer incense. Then after the incense, there is light. And then there is perfume. Perfume was passed on the chest, was given perfume. And then after the perfume, food and music. This was like the common way best way of receiving a guest in India. I think even nowadays would be very nice, no? Imagine you have a guest coming at home, and the first thing you give is something nice to drink, then you offer a foot massage with water, And then after that, when the guest is there and finish that, no, then you bring some beautiful flowers around. And after the flowers, you bring like beautiful candles, you make a nice atmosphere. And then, then there is incense, nice smell and offerings of incense. And then after that, you still some more massage with some nice perfume. And then after that, nice food. And then music. It's quite a nice way of receiving a guest, no? So this was the way how people used to do in a mundane way. So what was traditionally done to offer to the holy beings? Whatever we offer to ourselves. What is the best that we know? So whatever is the best that we have, that's what we offer. Okay? Then later, in the centuries that came, each one of these different 8 types of offerings, a special meaning was attached to it. But it's not that the Buddhas like these offerings. You know? One time I was having fun with one of Rinpoche's, one nephew, one monk in Tibet. And he liked a little bit Western food, and he was telling to me, you Westerners, you shouldn't do Omo Guru Buddha Bodhisattva Argam Padyam Pushbe Dube Aloke, which is the ways of all these offerings. He said, you should do Om Guru Buddha Bodhisattva Sapariware Pizza Pratitsaun Soha Spaghetti Pratitsaun Soha. You know? You should offer what is the best that you have, no? He liked very much Italian food. So, it's just to say that when we offer the best that we have. It's not a matter of following tradition and repeating formalities. It's a matter of materializing our gratitude, our faith, our respect, and as a way of request to receive the blessings. Okay? And what is interesting is that the blessings, being of wisdom and love, will give all the blessings in the same way to anyone. There is no such thing as the more you ask, the more you get. The difference is that we, be able to receive the blessings, depends how much we are open to it. It's more similar like a tower transmitting radio waves. It goes in the same way to everyone. It depends how much we know how to make just put our own receiver in the right channel. So when we make offerings in order to request the blessings, when we make a request, what we are doing is we are opening ourselves to receive. That's what we do when request. You know? Actually, asking for help, it's very, very important. You know, we are not so able to receive help if we don't ask. Because when we make a request, it means we are open to receive it. So when we make the offerings in our practice, it means we are opening ourselves to receive the blessings. Okay. We cultivate gratitude, we cultivate respect, and we cultivate humbleness, humility. Okay, these are the 3 qualities that we do by making offerings. And this is something actually very important. If we look in history, there are many practitioners that have said that they had a great knowledge and capacity of concentration, but they got stuck in their practice because they didn't do offerings. You know? And then, if we go in the Guru Puja, each different type of offering is connected to a different type of realization. Okay? So here, generally speaking, we have what is called outer offerings, inner offerings, secret offerings, offerings of emptiness, offerings of realizations. Okay? These are the main type of offerings. There are other ones also, but doesn't need to come right now. Outer offerings is basically where we offer objects of the 5 senses. So we offer beautiful things that can be seen, like flowers, and a good smell like incense, good taste like fruits or sweets and the food that we like. And then we can offer touch, we can have like beautiful silk or everything that is pleasurable as it and so on. So we have the objects of the five senses. Okay, these are called outer offerings. Okay. Then we have what is called inner offering. Inner offering, it's a bit complicated, but in few words, the inner offering is what we offer the inner phenomena, which is our own mind and body. So we offer our mind and we offer our body, we transform it purely and we offer it. Okay? And it's symbolized by this strange object here. Okay? It's a very strange object. It's a little awkward somehow. Because if you look what it represents, there is down, it's a half moon, like half circle, which symbolizes wind. Then on top of that, there is a triangle symbolizing fire. Then on the three corners of the triangle, there is 3 human heads. Okay? One more whitish, one red, one more blue. Okay? Then on top of this, there is a school cup, no, half of a head, turned the other way around. White outside, red inside. Then inside of this, there is 5 nectars and 5 meats. No? So the 5 meats, we have human flesh, there is horse meat, there is elephant meat, there is cow meat and dog meat. Then you have the 5 nectars, which basically there is excrement, urine, bone marrow, blood, and semen. Then the wind blows, the fire grows, and a soup is made out of all of that. And it becomes a sort of primordial soup, colored like mulcho and mercury. Then on top of this, there is the syllable Om Ahum. From Om, white light emanates, gathering the blessings of the body of all Buddhas. From Ah, red light emanates, gathering the blessings of the speech of all Buddhas. From Hum, blue light emanates, gathering the blessings of the mind of all Buddhas. Then Hum dissolves inside the soup, eliminating any sort of impurity of smell, taste, or form. Then the Ah, red, dissolves, transforming it into nectar. And then the Om dissolves, multiplying it to infinite. Okay? This is all symbology. The 5 types of meat and the 5 types of nectar symbolizes our 5 elements and our 5 aggregates. In other words, our body and our mind. That are initially impure. The wind that blows, the fire that grows, and all this boiling and after transforming and becoming nectar symbolizes the inner process. As all our subtle energy winds go inside our central channel, making the inner fire of the tumo, the kundalini, on the navel to go up, which melts at our crown, the white bodhicitta, that generates a great sensation of bliss that goes down through the whole body. And through this bliss, we realize the true nature of reality, and this purifies body and mind. Okay, I'm trying to make it simple. Afterwards, we will talk more about this in the part of the purification of the elements. So outer offerings means we offer external objects of the senses. Inner offerings, we are offering our body and our mind, transformed and purified. Okay? This is trying just to make simple. Afterward, we'll talk more about this later. It's actually a very important part of the practice. But then we have emptiness offerings, or secret offerings. Secret offering, we offer our own deep experience of great bliss that realizes the ultimate nature of reality. Okay? So, secret offering is something that cannot be seen, that cannot be touched, It's what we call the union of great bliss and emptiness. It's a deep and profound experience of pleasure. And through this strong experience of pleasure, there is the non-conceptual understanding or realization of the true nature of reality. Okay? For many people, I know this is very abstract. That's why it's called secret offering. Like something that even if it's there, you cannot understand until you are not there. So how can I make this offering? Each one of us, we try in the best of our ability to develop a memory of a moment of great pleasure and joy. And within that, we try to reflect upon the lack of inherent existence or interdependence. This is called the secret offering. And the offering of emptiness is our own level of realization of emptiness that we offer. So we can meditate on the lack of inherent existence, on the correct view of reality. We can meditate, reflect upon interdependence. All of this becomes emptiness of offerings of emptiness or emptiness offerings. And then there is the offerings of realization, in which we visualize in the form of flowers, in the form of objects, our own realization. So for example, we are able to overcome our anger up to a certain level. That we were able to do, we visualize, we materialize it in the form of a flower, and then we offer the flower. We are able to develop more love and patience. We materialize that into the form of a stone, a crystal, whatever object, and then we offer it. This is called the offerings of realizations, which is actually the best type of offering, is offering our own realizations. Okay? So these are the different types of offerings that exist. But what is important on the very beginning is for us to first of all understand why we make offerings. To cultivate gratitude, to materialize our gratitude, to materialize our love, our affection, our gratitude, our respect, our request of blessings. So, it is something that in our culture sometimes is a little bit difficult, because we have this idea that we make offerings in order to gain something. There is this idea that I make offerings because if I give you something, you are happy with that, and then you give me something back. There is somehow, somewhere, this idea of exchange. And it has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with exchange. There is no such a thing as a holy being coming, oh, you didn't give enough offerings, to you, no blessing. There is no such a thing. What exists is that we do not cultivate our gratitude, we do not cultivate our faith, our respect, we do not open ourselves to receive, so that we are not able to receive. This is something different. But something that I invite everyone is to have your own experience on the joy that we gain by offering. And one very important thing is that when we do offerings, has nothing to do also with recognition. We offer because we manifest our gratitude, our respect, and then we do the offerings. And we materialize our offerings into things that we feel comfortable with it. So it doesn't need to be necessarily a water bowl or an incense. We can offer our food, we can offer our work. For example, if you do karma yoga in the center, you can offer that as an offering. You can offer so many things, actually. We can all offer. So the important thing is for us to cultivate this feeling of gratitude and respect. Okay? So in the practice, coming back to the sadhana, in the practice what we do is that once we visualize that the whole environment is pure, in front of us we visualize an ocean of offerings. Okay? And you visualize whatever fits better to your own mind. Flowers, music, incense, whatever fits better to you. Okay? And this ocean, I like to imagine it like when from an airplane, on if you are very high in a mountain, in an airplane it's more easy to see this, like sort of this ocean of clouds. No? Like I like to imagine the offerings like this, like many, many, many offerings. No? And then we visualize all the offerings in front of us. And then on top of the offerings, we visualize the syllable Om Ahum. Then from Om, light, white light emanates, going to all holy beings, bringing back all the blessings of body in the white color. Then from the Ah, red light emanates, going to all the holy beings, bring back all the blessings of speech in the red color. Then from the Hum, blue light emanates, going to all Buddhas and holy beings, bringing back their blessings of mind that absorbs in the form of blue light and nectar into the Hum. Then the Hum dissolves into the offerings, and I like to imagine it like, imagine if you have like an ocean, and then suddenly in the center, if you throw a small stone, you have these ripples that they start going. No? So imagine like the Hum dissolves, and then there is this blue light that goes through all the offerings. And as it touches every part of the offerings, it eliminates any sort of impurity of color, shape, taste, or smell. Okay? Then the Ah, red, dissolves into the offerings, and then it's all transformed into nectar, nectar intended as a substance that by simply entering contact with it, it generates great bliss. Then the syllable Om, white in color, dissolves into the offerings and multiplies into infinite, which means it doesn't matter how much you consumed, there it's always more. It's never finishing, never ending. Okay? So we do this visualization as we recite normally in the preliminary prayers that we do, mostly like in the self-healing number 2. We do the prayer in Tibetan, which is Ladami, Chebetse, Ngosum Shadan Yikitru, Kunsan Chutrin Laname, Namke Kankoin Kyap Kyur Chi, Omu Namo Bhagavate, Benza Sarva Pramadane, Tata Gataya Arahate, Samya Sambudaya Tayata, Om Benze Benze Maha Benze Maha Tetsa Benze Maha Vidya Benze, Maha Bodhicitta Benze Maha Bodhi Mandupa Sangramana Benze Sarva Karma Avarana, Vishodana Benze Soha. If you want to make it simple, Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum. That's enough. Yeah. Yes, you recite Om Ahum, you visualize Hum Ahum. Like normally you recite Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum, because it's body, speech, and mind, which is the order of body, speech, and mind. But when it dissolves, it's Hum Ahum. Okay? And then here there are two ways of visualizing. Both of them is okay. Or you can visualize the Om that below, the Ah in the middle, the Hum above, and first the Hum like falls, then the Ah falls, then the Om. Or you visualize the Om, the Ah, and the Hum, and then it dissolves. I prefer like this normally. Okay? But I saw both explanations. So, we visualize this ocean of offerings. We can only recite only Om Ahum. Actually, whenever we make any offering, the way to purify the offerings before making is through the recitation of Om Ahum. And to do this same visualization also. Also when we make offering of food, of anything. Okay? Then after that, there is one prayer which is Kunjo Sumgi Dembadan Sangyedan Janju Semba Tamchegi Chingi Labdan Tsoni Yonsu Zope Ngadan Chimbodan Choki Yin Nambra Dajin Samgi Mikyape Topgi Teshin Nidu Gyurchik. That's a prayer that Rinpoche recited very often in many different contexts. The meaning is Kunjo Sumgi Dembadan Sangyeda Janju Semba Kunjo Sumgi Dembadan Sangyeda Janju Semba no Kunjo Sumgi Dembadan Sangyeda Janju Semba no Gidem. No. Kunjo Sumgi Dembadan Sangyeda Janju Semba Tamchegi Chingila
kuncho sumki tenpa sangye da jancho senpa tamchegi chingi labda tsoni yonso tsobe nga da chenpo da chuki ina pardashi samki mikya pe topki de shini tu gyurchi kuncho sumki tenpa ta. So through the power of the truth of Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, kuncho sumki tenpa ta. Sangye da jancho senpa tamchegi chingi labda through the blessings of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, sangye da jancho senpa tamchegi chingi labda Soni yonso zobe nga dan chenpo dang, by the power of the completion of accumulation of merit and the accumulation of wisdom of the Buddhas. Soni nga dan chenpo dang. Choki yin nampara ta chen samge mikya pe topki te shini tu gyurchi. Choki yin nampara takpes, and through the power of the nature of reality, which is Dharma Dhatu, of the nature of reality, which is the lack of inherent existence, that everything is interdependent. Through all that power, may whatever I am visualizing, whatever I wish, just become as it is. So in this case, we do this prayer because we say all these visualizations that I am making of the offerings. We may think that's just my mind. How can I offer that to Buddha? We say, just like the boy offered sand to Buddha Shakyamuni, and he received as gold, because whatever is offered to Buddha, he has just merits to receive something pleasurable. So we say, through the power of the blessings of all the Buddhas, of Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, by the truth of Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, by the power of the blessings of all the Buddhas, by the power of your merits, Guru Buddha, may these offerings become real. May you receive them as real offerings. Not through my power of my merit, but through your power of your merit. Okay? And this part, it's a part in which we prepare the offerings. Okay? If we want to make it simple, just imagine the offerings or place some offerings and do Om Mahum. That's also okay. Okay? But again, focus more into why you'll make the offerings, into the importance of sharing, of giving, of the joy that we have into doing that. Because we're about to invite Guru Buddha to come to this place. Okay, because one of the parts of generating the field of merit is that we invite the holy beings to come here, to be our witnesses in our practice, to bless us. So, it's like, imagine that, the most holy beings come to your home. No? Your guru is coming to your house. The Buddhas are coming to your house. What do? You keep the house dirty or you clean it? I'm not saying your house is dirty, but do you prepare the house or not? Yes. This is the first part where from the heart light emanates and purify everything. Then, this holy being is coming to your house. What do? We leave things just like that. When he comes, you want some water, it's there in the kitchen. Or we try to prepare something nice to receive. We offer the best that we can. We go to the supermarket, buy nice things, or wherever we want, or we go to pick up in the garden, and we make something beautiful and we prepare it. The moment that we are making the visualization and the Om Mahung and all of this is like when we are preparing the offerings. Okay? And we need to do this before our guest arrives. Once we finish making all the preparations, then we go to invite our guest. What happens? We let our guest come alone or we go to pick him or her up? We should go to pick up. Like in Tibet, whenever an important guest would come, at least you needed to do minimum half the way of the guest. So let's say if my guest is coming from Milan to here, at least I need to go to Busto Arsizio. No? To Arona. I need to do at least like half the way. I go and meet in the half of the way, then I come together. Because you are so important to me and you are coming to see me, so as a way of recognizing that, at least I will do the same time of traveling as you did. So I do half the way. I go and I come back. Okay? And I don't know if some of you may remember when, for example, Trijang Rinpoche was coming here, Trijang Chodo Rinpoche,
Ganchen Rinpoche, he would always go at least half the way to receive Trijang Rinpoche on the way coming here. And it's not much to do. Just go meet in one gas station on half of the highway, one kata, hello, and then go in the car again and continue. But it's a way of respect. No? In Tibet, imagine what happened if your guest is doing 3 months traveling to come to see you. You take 1 month and a half before you leave, by miracle way you meet somewhere half of the way. And then you come back walking again another month and a half. No, that's how things were before. And then when the guest leaves, you need to do again half the way again together. Okay? So similar to that, when we invite to come the holy beings to come to our place, we prepare the offerings and then we need to invite them. Okay? In the ancient times, whenever you would invite someone important, you would go with incense and music. Also in the Western world, when like the kings were coming or important guests were coming, they were playing a lot of trumpets and many things, no? The Tibetans or India, they do the same thing. When an important guest is coming, they make a lot of noise. Like, for example, if a very important guest is coming today, from the day before they already start making noise. Like on the roofs of the monasteries, they have these big trumpets. Like they play it the whole night, which is like a sign of, preparation, or to remind people that an important guest is coming. Okay? So in this case, what we will do in our practice, we visualize first of all Guru Buddha, our field of merit. Okay? The visualization is called the commitment beam, or in Sanskrit, Samaya Sattva, which is our own visualization. And here we visualize Guru Buddha in the aspect of our own Guru, such as Lama Kanchen Rinpoche. Guru Buddha is seated on a beautiful throne with a sun and a moon cushion. Lotus, sun and moon cushion, symbolizing his qualities. The lotus symbolizes renunciation, which means love towards oneself. The sun and the moon cushion represents relative and absolute bodhicitta, which means great love, compassion, and wisdom. Okay? So is Guru Buddha sitting on this beautiful throne. Guru Buddha is smiling at us. One very important aspect is when we visualize our Guru, inseparable of all the Buddhas, there are different symbols that we can use. The type of clothes that the Guru is wearing, the object that is holding in the hand, the type of hat, and many things. But the most important thing is we visualize in a way that touches our heart. And that connects us. Okay. So we visualize our own Guru. That is one of the most powerful ways of connecting us with what is sacred. So we visualize our own Guru, inseparable of all the Buddhas, of all the other Gurus. We have many masters. I have many masters myself. So we visualize like one representing all. And one time, Kyabje Dragong Rinpoche explained to me that, for example, when we have more than one Guru and we don't know which one to visualize so precise and so on, he said to visualize like if it's like an hologram, then when you look from one side, it's one face, then it's around, it's the other face, like one transforming into the other. But the important thing is that we visualize in a way that it connects to our heart. And sometimes people said to me, Lama, but I don't know how to visualize. Let's try to see if you are able. Okay? If we sit down, concentrate, and then you imagine a pizza in front of you. Can you imagine the pizza? How big is the pizza? Like this? Like this? Not really. More or less this size, right? So you visualize your own pizza. And then as you have the pizza in front of you, can you imagine the texture of the pizza, if you like it more high or more thin? And then you visualize the color of the tomato sauce, and then you put the melted cheese, and then you put extra toppings that you like, and then you feel the heat coming from the pizza, and then you see the smell coming, and then you start cutting the pizza and you feel the outer part is more crunchy, then it's less crunchy as it gets to the center, and then you start taking it to eat and so on. Can you imagine it or not? By imagining the pizza, can you get water mouthing? Does it make any effect on you? Okay, try to do it by the end of the day before dinner. Okay, or if you are in a place like in Tibet, far away from any food that you are used to. Okay? What happens is that this is visualization. The reason why we can visualize well a pizza and we are not so capable of visualizing Buddha is just because we are more familiar with pizza than Buddhas. Okay? It's just a matter of imagining. But imagination is not only a perfect picture, it comes with smell. It comes with many things. For example, for me, visualizing my own guru, just now remembering the smell of Rinpoche, touches my heart in a particular way. Much more than his image, actually. You know? And we put everything there, we make it rich. Okay? And there are symbols, but we don't need to go through them right now. Like, for example, the dorje and the bell. No, we visualize the guru holding the dorje and holding the bell. The dorje in the right hand symbolizing love, compassion, and great bliss. The bell symbolizing wisdom. The dorje and the bell together symbolizing the perfect balance between male and female energy of method and wisdom. But we need most of all to visualize the guru in a way that touches our heart. Then slowly we can add symbols to remind us of the qualities of the guru. Okay? So, we visualize Guru Buddha, and we try to add details. As we are doing, as this is the field of merit for the practice of self-healing, we visualize Guru Buddha. At his crown, there is Buddha Vairochana. At the throat, Buddha Amitabha. At the heart, Buddha Akshobhya. At the navel, Buddha Ratnasambhava. At the secret chakra, Buddha Amoghasiddhi. Just like we have in the practice of self-healing, you visualize in Guru Buddha in front of you all the 5 chakras perfectly balanced. In the center of each chakra, in the center of the central channel, there is white Vairochana, red Amitabha, blue Akshobhya, yellow Ratnasambhava, and green Amoghasiddhi. Okay, symbolizing that Guru Buddha have fully developed his qualities of wisdom, satisfaction, concentration, love, compassion, patience, humility, generosity, power of realization, all the qualities have fully developed. The 5 wisdoms and the 5 aggregates are pure. So this is what is representing by visualizing each one of the chakras, okay? If for us it's too difficult to visualize the 5 Dhyani Buddhas in the 5 chakras of Guru Buddha, we just visualize Guru Buddha smiling at us. That's already good. Otherwise, we can visualize the 5 chakras just with the colors: white, red, blue, yellow, and green. Beautiful colors, perfectly in harmony. Okay? Crown, throat, heart, navel, and secret chakra. Okay? Once we've done our visualization, then also in the visualization we visualize Guru Buddha. From the heart of Guru Buddha emanates an aura of light. You know, all the drawings are actually to help us to visualize. And when we look at the image of many Buddhas, we see all this aura around. You see, like in the Buddhas on the sort of windows that we have, no? With this light rays going. Okay? Somehow there is something at one point that is, they are like, how to say, not blocked, but a limit is given to it in the drawing. But actually it goes beyond. No? No, I like to visualize that from Guru Buddha comes this multicolored light that embraces every sentient being in every part of the universe. It's like, and we feel completely embraced by it. We feel touched by it. We feel blessed by it. So we see this light of Guru Buddha emanating. He's in the middle of this beautiful aura. This is the part in which we visualize the field of merit. Okay? And we can add many details. But I think in a general way, it's okay like this. The next step, which is very, very important, is in which we request the wisdom beings to come. We request Guru Buddha actually to be there, not to be just our visualization. We ask all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, the Dakas, the Dakinis, the protectors, all the Gurus of the lineage, all holy beings. We ask them, please, I want to reach enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. And for reason, in order to do that, I must develop my qualities and eliminate my defilements. And for that, I need your blessings. So please come here, now, at this moment, through the power of your compassion, through the power of your wisdom, and through the power of my faith. Come to this very right place in order to bless me. And in this moment, we make the prayers of request. We do malu semche kunge gongurche do de punche mize chanselang mona malo yanda kinger pechum den korche nedir sheksu sol. Or we can also, as we request Guru Buddha to come, we can do Lama Kien, Trinchen Tsawe Lama Kien, Kyamne Kundu Lama Kien. We can do any of the prayers, but if we just follow in the sadhanas where we have written, like in self-healing number 2 and so on, all these steps are written. Okay? I will get, today I forgot to bring, but for everyone we have this sadhana with all the details there. We can afterwards follow it together also. As we make the request, we repeat it, and as we make the request, normally we play a bell also, which is when we make the invitation. We put on an incense. We play the bell, in which we are asking, please come. And as we make the request, from the heart of Guru Buddha in front of us, that we are visualizing, a blue light emanates from his heart, going to the heart of every Buddha and holy beings. And is a sort of magnet. It invites all the Buddhas to come. And then when this light reaches the heart of every holy being, they receive this request and they accept it with a beautiful smile. And then an emanation of each one of them comes to this place, like a rain of wisdom beings. Some of them are big like mountains, other them are small like atoms, and each and every one of them, without exception, absorb into Guru Buddha visualized in front of us. It's similar to when there is snowing on the ocean. Okay? I don't know how Tibetans have these examples because they never saw an ocean, but they have big lakes. Because when there is snow in the ocean, if you see the snow falling, when it touches the water, very softly it touches and is absorbed. It doesn't accumulate on top of water. It's absorbed. As it touches, it absorbs. And there is not one flake of snow that is not absorbed, because everything touches the water. Similar to that, all the emanations of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and holy beings, they touch gently Guru Buddha visualized in front of us, and all of them without exception is absorbed. And then by this we visualize that our visualization, which is called the commitment being or Samaya Sattva, becomes inseparable with the wisdom being or Jnana Sattva, which means the actual Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the actual holy beings. No? Like in this moment that our Guru is not in a physical presence, it becomes even easier for us to connect and say, oh please Guru Buddha Rinpoche, come here. And then we make this request and we visualize that it becomes inseparable with the visualization in front of us. Okay? And this moment of making this request, it's a very important moment where we need to put emphasis, we can recite slowly, make our prayers, and we request. And once it's done, it's like having this certainty, Guru Buddha is here. I am not alone. This is not just my mind playing a game. Guru Buddha is actually here with me. Okay? And it is something that we need to experience ourselves. It's something that we need to have our own experience, making it short. Okay? Through this, it will help us a lot afterwards to make the offerings, to openly admit our own negativities, to do the part of purification, and all the other steps that comes afterward. But one of the very important parts of the preliminary practice is we request Guru Buddha's presence, and we do the visualization, and then as we request Guru Buddha's presence, we see the commitment being becoming inseparable with the wisdom being. Also, the statues that we have, for example, when we have a picture or we have a painting, all these paintings here, all of this is called Samaya Sattva. They're all commitment beings. And then we visualize, and there are different ways of practices where the holy beings come and they absorb and become inseparable with the commitment being. And as it's said from the teachings of Buddha that wherever the body is present, the mind is present. Wherever the mind is present, the body is present. So wherever there is a representation of the body of the Buddha, automatically there is his mind representation also there. So we say wherever we visualize the Buddha, his mind is also there, his presence is also there. So in this way, not only we visualize Guru Buddha, we can do that also through an image, a picture, a painting, a statue, and we can use that also as the basis for visualization. It's also a commitment being in the same way. Okay? So, once we finish that, we can also recite the verse from the Guru Puja, which is the part in which we focus in the wisdom being's reign, which means the wisdom beings absorbing into the commitment being and becoming inseparable, which is the part of the Guru Puja that we say, Omo Guru Buddha Bodhisattva Dharmapala Saparivare Ehya Hi Dza Hong Bam Ho Yeshe Panam Tamse Pada Nisume Parakyur. Yeshepa, wisdom beings, Tamsepa, commitment being, Nisumeba, non-dual. Gyur, become. So, the wisdom beings becomes non-dual with the commitment beings. And if we understand this logic, this process, we will see this in every sadhana. From the Kansor of the Dharmapala to the sadhana of Guhya Samaja or any other practice within the Vajrayana, there is always this part of visualizing the holy beings and inviting the wisdom beings. This is always there. The mudra that is done, Dza Hum Bam Ho, okay? Basically, Dza is when you invite. So Dza means to come, invite, Dza. Dza Hum means enter. Bam is absorb. Ho means become inseparable. Okay, there is much longer explanation, but in essence, you visualize that the wisdom beings come, enter into the commitment being, absorb into the commitment being, and then becomes inseparable with the commitment being. This is Dza Hum Bam Ho. And invite, come, enter, absorb, and becomes inseparable. Okay? And this is one mudra that sometimes can be done, which is Dza Hum Bam Ho. Or the mudra can also be done. I learned in two ways, even though I never saw many people doing in this other way how one of my gurus taught me, which is when you do self-visualization where you are the commitment being, then you do Dza Hum Bam Ho. When you do it on a frontal generation, like we are doing now, you do Dza Hum Bam Ho. This is the only difference once you do like this, which is for on yourself, and when you have the visualization in front of you, you do za, hong, bam, ho. Which means just to put the emphasis that is not on yourself, but is in front of you. It's just like if it's like the hugging mudra towards you, and then you have the hugging mudra towards the other side. Okay? But this is not so important. It's just the important thing is that we truly from our heart make the request for the wisdom beings to come. That's the most important. You know? There was like stories of practitioners that they were not very well versed in the sadhanas, and then when come to this moment, they didn't know how to read so well everything and do the prayers, so they would just come, oh, you know, Guru Buddha, Yamantaka, please come here, I need so much you to be here, you know, just like talking. It's the same thing, it's just that we have it put into beautiful verses. But more than reciting verses or making perfect mudras, we need to have this pure intent in which we say, please, Guru Buddha, come here. You know? It doesn't matter, maybe I'm not saying the prayers with the perfect phonetic. Maybe I am not knowing the right words, but I have a pure intention. And then I go and I say, please come. And I make this request from the deepest part of my heart. Sometimes we get very much busy with the correct recitation, with the correct mudra, with the precise visualization as it was taught and so on. All of this is very good. But sometimes it may become, in the beginning, an interference to connect with our feelings. And the most important thing is our feelings, first of all. As we invite the holy beings, we invite the holy beings. And we can do it through different words, through different gestures. We can put incense, we can play the bell, we can do all of this. But the bell is there to symbolize something that is happening from within us. Okay? So, I just remind everyone, please, we need to connect to this request. Then there are different verses that can be recited, different mudras that can be done. We can stand up and take an incense, we can do prostrations, we can play bells and other instruments, we can even make a welcome dance if we like, you know. So many things can be done. But it's a matter of making this request from our heart. Okay? And if we look in different traditions, different ways were developed. And we have all the manuals, which are the sadhanas, in which the verses are there, the visualization is there, and so on. But we should make the request from the depths of our heart. Okay? With this, we conclude briefly this part of requesting, visualizing the Mary field and requesting it. Okay? And now the next step that we need to go is the part of the 7 limb prayers, which is making prostrations, making offerings, openly admitting our own negative actions, rejoicing for all the positive actions, requesting Guru Buddha to remain with us, requesting Guru Buddha to give us the teachings, to guide us with the Dharma, and we dedicate our positive energy generated. Okay? So we would go to the 7 limb prayers tomorrow morning. Okay? I would like to go now, but actually I was requested by the mayor. He needs something from the center, actually, so I'm sorry, but I need to be at the mayor's office at 5. I said to him I would reach late. So, but I'm very happy that we can go through each one of these parts, and I think it's in a way that everyone could understand quite clear, no? I hope so. So the important thing which I request is try it, use it. And also take the texts like the preliminary practices, they're in the self-healing number 2, or in the text of the Guru Puja, it's exactly the same. And as you go through the verses, you will see each one of these steps. And the words that are there are just to help us to develop these connections and these thoughts and these emotions. It's there for that. Okay? So we do our dedications for today, and then tomorrow morning we have the day dedicated specially for the memory of Rinpoche. Okay? So tomorrow morning practice, I will be guiding it. Okay? And then during the day we have many other activities which now I don't remember which they are. Okay? I participated by making the program together, but now I don't remember. But I know that tomorrow morning I will be here guiding the practice together. Okay? I don't know. I think it's at 9. What we have in the program, I follow. I don't remember right now. Okay? So. Sashi peke chukshi meto chan rirav lingshe nide gemba de sange shinto mikte ulwargi drukun namda shingla che par shoyi jetsun lame kutse raptench namkar chinle chokchur gepadam losan tempe drume sasumki drove munsel takto ne gyurchi Yedam Guru Ratna Mandrala Kam Niryatayami Kyewa Kuntu Yanda Lama Dan Drame Cheki Pela Longche Ching Sadan Lamge Yente Rapzone Dorje Change Kopa Nyurtobe Nimo Dele Tsendele Nime Kunyan Delekshin Ninsen takto delekpe, koncho sumke jingelo, koncho sumke ngodrubutsol, koncho sumke trashisho. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the three jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations and spring all the blessings with many signs of auspiciousness. All'alba o al tramonto, di notte o durante il giorno, possano i tre gioielli concederci le loro benedizioni, possano aiutarci ad ottenere tutte le realizzazioni e cospargere il sentiero della nostra vita con molti segni di buon auspicio. Repeat after me. Sem chosudro, che lam tudro, lam la parce, May the mind become the Dharma. May the Dharma become the path. May the path be free from interferences. Possa la mente diventare il Dharma. Possa il Dharma diventare il sentiero. Possa il sentiero essere libero da interferenze.